Hello listeners, I am Dr. Anuj Kumar Sharma, presently working in Center for Advanced Studies, which is in campus research institute of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University located in Lucknow. We in this particular lecture we are discussing the strength of material and we are in the third unit. So, today's lecture is based on the Euler's theory for columns. So, actually we have covered this topic in two units, two lectures. So, today's lecture we will discuss the Euler's theory for two types of columns subjected to different end conditions. दो हम ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं इससे पहले लेक्चर में, दो इसमें, तो ये दोनों कंटिन्यूएशन के लेक्चर्स हैं, दोनों को हम देखेंगे तो हम लोगों को ईजीली समझ में आएंगी चीज़ें. Following are the outlines of my today's presentation. I will discuss the introduction of column and strut for the listeners, those who haven't attended the previous lecture. Then I will take the Euler's formula for column with one end fixed and other is hinged. तो जैसे हम लोगों को पता है चार कंडीशंस होती हैं, तो चार में से दो कंडीशंस हम पहले लेक्चर में और दो कंडीशंस इसमें. तो आज जो हम दो कंडीशंस ले रहे हैं वो उस कॉलम की ले रहे हैं जिसमें एक एंड उसका फिक्स है एंड सेकंड एंड इज हिंज्ड, एंड सेकंड इज द कॉलम हुज वन एंड इज फिक्स्ड एंड अदर एंड इज फ्री. तो ये दो कंडीशंस के बारे में हम लोग बात करेंगे. देन विल टेक ए वेरी स्मॉल न्यूमेरिकल प्रॉब्लम टू अंडरस्टैंड द कंसेप्ट हाउ वी सॉल्व द न्यूमेरिकल्स. As we know, column and struts they are the structural member which are subjected to axial compressive force, and if any strut is acting in the vertical direction then we can call it as column. तो यहाँ से जो सीधी जो डायग्राम है यहाँ से हम लोग समझ सकते हैं, ऑलरेडी हम प्रीवियस लेक्चर में भी इसको डिस्कस कर चुके हैं, बट एक्चुअली दिस इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड द डिफरेंस बिटवीन कॉलम एंड स्ट्रट. सो कॉलम इज़ बेसिकली ए मेंबर ऑफ द स्ट्रट फैमिली. स्ट्रट क्या है कि कोई भी ऐसा मेंबर जो कंप्रेसिव लोडिंग पे लग रहा है, कंप्रेसिव लोडिंग को बियर कर रहा है इन एनी डायरेक्शन और इन एनी ओरिएंटेशन. इट मे बी वर्टिकल, इट मे बी इंक्लाइंड इन पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन, बट इफ इट इज़ इन perfectly vertical position then we can call it as column, otherwise it is known as the strut. तो जो columns हैं वो ज़्यादा लोड बियर करते हैं एज कम्पेयर टू दी स्ट्रट्स. अगर हम यहाँ पे देखें तो द क्रॉस सेक्शनल डायमेंशंस जो कॉलम्स का है वो बड़ा होता है एज कम्पेयर टू स्ट्रट, और जो कॉलम्स हैं दे यूज टू कैरी हैवी कंप्रेसिव लोड्स एज कम्पेयर टू दी स्ट्रट्स, and columns are used in concrete and steel buildings while struts are used in roof trusses and planar trusses. So, we will take this case today. One end hinged and other end is fixed. As we can see from the right hand side diagram, अगर हम यहाँ पे देखें, so this is the column right in the vertical position, one end is hinged, other end is fixed. तो ये जो एक कंडीशन है हमारी, इस कंडीशन में हम लोग यूलर्स जो क्रिपलिंग लोड है उसका एक्सप्रेशन डिराइव करेंगे. सो उसके लिए हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि वी कंसीडर वन सेक्शन एट ए डिस्टेंस ऑफ x फ्रॉम दिस पर्टिकुलर पोजीशन, जहाँ पे कि हम लोगों को y एक डिफ्लेक्शन मिल रहा है, बिकॉज इट इज़ क्रिएटिंग द डिफ्लेक्शन एट पर्टिकुलर पोजीशंस, और मिडिल में मैक्सिमम है इसका, और फिर जो हमारे एंड पॉइंट्स हैं उन एंड पॉइंट्स पे ज़ीरो है. सो लेट इट इज़ बीइंग सब्जेक्टेड टू ए फोर्स एंड लोड P, कंप्रेसिव लोड है जो इस पे काम कर रहा है, एंड बिकॉज इट इज़ हिंज्ड तो यहाँ पे हम लोगों को एक हॉरिजॉन्टल में एक सपोर्ट रिएक्शन भी मिलेगा, एंड द लेंथ ऑफ दिस कॉलम इज़ L. सो फ्रॉम हेयर वी कैन सी द बेंडिंग मोमेंट एट ए डिस्टेंस x. तो हम बेंडिंग मोमेंट कैलकुलेट करते हैं. पहले x जो हम लोगों ने एक पॉइंट मेज़र किया है, पॉइंट लिया है, कंसीडर किया है एट ए डिस्टेंस ऑफ x, तो वहाँ पे जो मूवमेंट होगा दैट वुड बी हाउ मच. अगर मैं इस पॉइंट पे मूवमेंट लूँ, सो दैट मूवमेंट वुड बी इक्वल टू p मल्टीप्लाइड बाई y, दैट वुड बी इन द क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन, एंड f multiplied by x, that is in the anti-clockwise direction. So, the net movement would be how much? So, py minus fx. So, this is the net movement. So, we know the Euler's equation EI d square y upon dx square is equal to minus x, this is the equation. So, we can put the value of movement at particular section which is at a distance of x. So, अगर हम उसको रखते हैं तो we will get the equation EI d square y upon dx square is equal to minus py plus fx, क्योंकि माइनस साइन है वहाँ पे. इसको अगर हम सिंप्लीफाई करते हैं तो what we have done, we have moved this EI to this particular position on the right hand side, and then we have moved this particular body to here. So, what we have got? We have got this expression d square y upon dx square plus p upon EI into y is equal to fx upon E into I. Now, let us make it more simple. We assume that p upon EI is equal to m square. So, we will put that expression in the equation. तो अगर हम इसमें पुट करेंगे तो what will get d square y upon dx square plus m square y is equal to fx upon EI. तो ये हम लोगों को एक्सप्रेशन मिला. Now, this is the second order differential equation. इसको हम रीअरेंज कर सकते हैं और अदरवाइज वी कैन लीव इट एज इट इज़. तो ये जो सेकंड ऑर्डर डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन है, वी कैन डिटरमाइन द जनरल सॉल्यूशन ऑफ दिस इक्वेशन. The general solution of this equation may be this: y is equal to c1 cos mx plus c2 sin mx plus fx upon p. So, this is the solution, general solution of this equation where c1 and c2 are constants. तो अगर हम इसको solution मान के चलें, ये इसका general solution हुआ. So, अब हम इस सॉल्यूशन पे ये जो सॉल्यूशन मिला है हमको y इज इक्वल टू दिस. सो वी नीड टू कैलकुलेट दी कांस्टेंट वैल्यूज c1 एंड c2. तो अगर c1 c2 की वैल्यू निकालेंगे, सो इट मीन्स वी नीड दी बाउंड्री कंडीशंस. सो बाउंड्री कंडीशंस, let x is equal to, at x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. From the diagram we can see at particular this point the y means deflection, or we can say the displacement, lateral displacement of the column is 0, buckling is 0. So, we put this condition in that expression, and if we will put, so at x is equal to 0, so this term would be 0, if x is equal to 0, this term is also 0. So, all term would be 0, y is also 0. So, what we will get? C1 is equal to 0. So, this we will get. Now, the second condition may be at x is equal to L, means we are talking about this point. So, if we talk about this point, so here also x becomes L, but y is equal to again 0. So, we can put this condition here. So, if we will put this condition, so this will give you the 0 is equal to this term cos mx, because C1 is also 0. So, this is also 0 plus C2 sin ml plus FL upon P. So, this we have got. Now, यहाँ से हम लोग जो है अब हम कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं dy by dx, because we have to calculate the C2 in the term of some known parameters. So, even f is not known to us. So, we have to replace this f also. So, here we can see we can differentiate this expression. If we differentiate, what we will get? We will get this dy by dx is equal to C2 m cos mx, because C1 is already 0. So, that expression is C2, because this expression is 0, because C1 is 0. So, this expression is already 0. So, we have to differentiate this term with respect to x. So, after differentiation we will get C2 m cos mx plus f by p. So, if we will get this, so now we have these boundary conditions at x is equal to L. So, at x is equal to L, dy by dx is also equal to 0. So, you can see at this particular point the slope. So, slope is what? Dy by dx. So, it is also 0. So, what we can do? So, we can put these expressions here. So, dy by dx is 0, C2 this plus f by p. If we will get like this, so we will get this expression, and after this C2 is equal to minus f by pm cos ml. So, what we have done? We have put this equals to 0. So, if we will put this equals to 0, so this term will go on that side with minus sign, and it would be divided by m, this m will come to that side and cos ml will come also on that side. So, we will get C 2 is equal to this. So, now what we can do, we can put this C 2 in this expression. So, now we can get dy by dx is 0 or what we can do, we can okay. So, now what we have done, we have put this expression here. So, we will getting minus C 2 f by p m upon 1 plus cos m l. When we will put this expression here, sorry, not in this, we have to put this expression here. So, what we are getting 0 is equal to minus f by p m into this sin m l divided by cos m l, because this cos m l will come from here. So, we have to put here. So, what we will get? We will get the tan m l plus f l by p as it is. So, this term. So, this expression we will get. Now, we have to simplify this expression, because we need to calculate an expression in the term of 10 ml. So, this simplified expression we have got 0 is equal to f by p, and we have taken out f by p as a common into L minus 10 ml by m. Now, if it is equal to 0, so from here f by p cannot be 0, this term cannot be equal to 0. Why it cannot be 0? Because f is also having some value, because f is the reaction here, p is the compressive force here. So, we cannot put f by p equals to 0. So, what is the another option we can have? We can have the another option L minus this term can be 0. So, it means when we will put L minus 10 ml minus m, 10 ml by m, that can be 0. So, this is the expression. Now, we can simplify it. So, it would be equal to 10 ml is equal to ml. तो वो यहाँ से कैसे आया? So, ये हो जाएगा m l minus 10 ml equals to 0. So, if we will put like this, so we will get 10 ml is equal to ml, or we can put it as like this 10 ml minus ml equals to 0. So, it means this term should be 0. So, we have to find out the value of ml. How we can find out? So, this we have got 10 ml minus ml equals to 0. So, now we have to do some the iterations. So, like this. So, 10 ml minus ml should be 0, but when it can be 0. So, we have to put some arbitrary values and we will have to check. So, we have checked for ml is equal to 1. So, we are getting this value, but it is not 0. Then again we change the value to 2, but we got this. Again we change the value to this, we got this. Then 4, it is reducing, but when we put 5, then again we can do some iterations. So, finally, we got this combination. So, for ml is equal to 4.49, तो जब ये वाली वैल्यू आती है, then we get it is close to 0. So, it is 0.006775. So, almost it is close to 0. So, when it comes to 0, it means we can say that ml is equal to 4.49. So, this is the solution of this expression. So, we have got this. So, now ml is equal to 4.49. So, ml what we assumed as m was equal to m square was equal to p upon ei. So, we have put m is equal to under root of p upon ei. So, this expression we have got. Now, we can square the expression. If we will square on the both side, we will get p upon ei L square is equal to 4.49 square हम देखेंगे, that will come near about 20. So, it is 20. So, now we can write it as p is equal to 20 ei upon L square, just we have rearranged the terms. Now, if we we try to convert it into pi square, because it is the standard formula in the Euler's crippling load calculation. Generally, we have pi square ei upon L effective length square. So, here we have to think of that standard expression. So, here also we have tried to convert it into 2 pi square ei. So, we have converted this 20 into 2 pi square. So, when we again simplify it, so what we have done, द लीस्ट बकलिंग लोड इज, जो हम लोगों ने सबसे छोटा लिया है, सो वो ये सबसे छोटा जो बकलिंग लोड है वो यही है, क्योंकि इसके अलावा और कोई सॉल्यूशंस होंगे, इससे हायर सॉल्यूशंस होंगे। तो व्हाट वी हैव डन, 2 को फिर आप नीचे ले आओ, इसको अंडर रूट में ले आओ, so this will be the square, the pi square ei upon L by under root 2 square. So when we compare it with the standard solution is this, it is a crippling load when the column was hinged at both the ends, that is the standard. So it means effective length is what? Effective length is L by root 2 in this particular case. So for the column which is hinged at one end and fixed at the other end, we can say the effective length of that particular column is L by root 2, and the buckling load, crippling load is pi square ei upon L by root 2 whole square. So this is for the one case. Now let us take the second case whose one end is fixed and the other end free. If we consider this column, so we consider this. So here it is, one end is fixed and other end is free. So whenever we applied this load, so we got some lateral displacement. So you can see now the curvature has become like this, or we can say the column has become like this. So this is the column. So it means, let us say at particular point which is at a distance of x, we assume that there is a remarkable deflection, let us say that deflection is y. So at this point it is y deflection, and this is the eccentricity, because this end is free. So it can move in this direction or in this direction, and this is no force, because we do not have any reaction, horizontal reaction in this direction. So let us try to calculate the movement in this particular, the total bending moment at distance x is this much. So if we calculate this, so let us say this is the straight line and this is the section. So let us say this is P, this distance is E and this distance is y. So what would be the net distance if we calculate the movement about this point? So that movement would be equal to P into E clockwise and P into y, that is this is the total distance is how much, this distance is how much from here to here. So this distance would be equal to E minus y. So the force is P, distance is E minus y and it is clockwise. So for compressive loading we consider it as clockwise, that is the negative. So movement is minus P into E minus y. So if we will see the Euler's equation, that is E I d square y upon dx square is equal to minus mx, put that movement here, we will get P into E minus y. Simplified it, we just rearrange the terms, we got d square y upon dx square plus P upon E I into y is equal to P E upon E I. This is the term we will got the upon the rearrangement. Now we simplified it, we just put P upon E I is equal to m square, then this equation would be simplified. So this equation would be what? This equation would be d square y upon dx square plus m square y is equal to m square multiplied by E. So this is the simple equation. Now the general solution of this equation may be this, y is equal to C1 cos mx plus C2 sin mx. This is the general solution of this equation. Now we have to look for the boundary conditions. So at x is equal to L, y is equal to 0. So here we know this is the end fixed. So at x is equal to L, y is equal to 0. So we can put this expression here. In this equation if we will put, we will get this 0 is equal to this term is 0 here and C1 cos m L, x की जगह हमने L put किया plus C2 sin m L plus E. So from here we have one relation between C1 and C2. Now we can calculate the dy by dx. So we can differentiate this expression and we can get this. So dy by dx is equal to minus C1 m sin mx plus C2 m cos mx. Now again we have another boundary condition at x is equal to L, यहाँ पे slope भी 0 है So, again dy by dx is also equal to 0. So, when we will do it, we will get some expression here. So, this is the expression which we are getting. So, again we are having another equation between C1 and C2. तो जब हम ये एक्सप्रेशन देखेंगे तो एट एक्स इज इक्वल टू 0 वी कैन पुट द बाउंड्री कंडीशन अगेन एट एक्स इज इक्वल टू 0 व्हाट इज द lateral displacement y, deflection is how much, that is E, this is the E, क्योंकि यहाँ से वाला फ्री एंड था उधर शिफ्ट हो गया. तो इट मीन्स वी नो द 3 वैल्यूज. One is at x is equal to L, we have 2 values, slope and deflection we know, and at free end at x is equal to 0 we know the value of the lateral displacement, that is y is equal to E. So, when we will put all these things in this particular expression, we will get E is equal to C1 plus E, E would be cancel out and we can get C1 is equal to 0. So, first constant is equal to 0. So, whenever you will put this first constant in that expression, you will get C2 is equal to sin ml in that particular expression, and you will get 0 is equal to minus E m by sin ml. When you will put this C1 and C2, C1 is 0, C2 if you will put there, you will get this expression. And यहाँ से जो हम इस एक्सप्रेशन को जब हम सॉल्व करते हैं तो वी कैन गेट एम एल इज इक्वल टू पाई बाई 2, 3 पाई बाई 2. देयर मे बी सम sequences, some solutions, more solutions would be there, but we have to select the lowest one. So, if we generalize this, what we can get for general solution, we can get m l is equal to 2 n plus 1 into pi by 2. So, this is the general solution. So, m l की value हमको कितनी मिली? So, this is the lowest value, and for n is equal to 0 we can get 3 pi by 2, right. m l is equal to this much we will get. So, taking the least value, that is n is equal to 0. So, m l is equal to pi by 2. So, if n is equal to 0, so this term would be 0 and we will get only the pi by 2. So, this is the lowest or the least value of m l. When we will put this value, we will get under root p upon E I into L is equal to pi by 2, because from here we have got this. So, when we will solve this expression, we will square this term, we will get p is equal to pi square E I upon 4 L square. जब यहाँ से आप इसको solve करेंगे, so you will get p upon E I L square is equal to pi square by 4. So, when you will rearrange, so p would be equal to pi square E I upon 4 L square. So, we know the standard crippling load equation is pi square E I upon L square, the equivalent length. So, we have to convert this expression somehow to this square. So, what we have done, we have taken 2 inside. So, we have written like this. So, now if we will compare this expression with this expression, if we will compare this, so what we will get, effective length is equal to 2 L. So, in this case effective length is equal to 2 L. So, this is the expression. So, for the column which is fixed at one end and which is free at the other end. So, we can see, so we have derived this formula. So, now we are in the position where we have the standard formulas for all the 4 conditions of the columns. So, if we see, if we compile this, so Euler's crippling load for columns with different conditions. So, this is the Euler crippling load standard equation where L E is the effective length, equivalent length. Now, we can see, we can take one by one if we will summarize. So, both and hinge condition if we talk about. So, this is the standard where effective length is equal to L. So, this is the first condition. Second condition is the both ends fixed. So, here effective length is equal to L by 2. So, this expression we have to remember, and third is the one end fixed and the other end hinged. So, here effective length is equal to L by root 2, equivalent length. And if we see one end fixed, other end free. So, here we can see if equivalent length is equal to 2L. So, these formulas we have to remember, and this formula we need to remember. Either we remember this formula and all these 4, or we should remember all these 4 formulas. So, whatever it is up to you, you can decide and you can remember these things. So, now we will take one small numerical. So, a straight length of steel bar 1.5 meter long. So, length is given and 2 centimeter by 4 centimeter section, area is given. This area is given, is compressed longitudinally until it buckles. So, we have to think of that situation where buckling is just about to start, assuming Euler's formula to apply. So, Euler's formula हमें apply करना है, estimate the maximum central deflection. So, y max हमको calculate करना है या delta निकालना है before the steel passes the yield point at, this is the maximum stress and E is given. So, this is very simple numerical. If we will take, so we calculate the I minimum, the moment of inertia. Moment of inertia is what? B d cube by 12. So, that dimensions are given. So, we can calculate the I minimum moment of inertia, that is 1 by 48, and if we will calculate, this is 10 raised to the power minus 8 by 48 meter raised to the power 4. So, this is the I. So, I we have calculated moment of inertia. Now, we know that crippling Euler's crippling load equation, that is P is equal to pi square E I upon L square. So, if we will put these values, E is given to us, I we have calculated, length is given to us 1.5 meter. So, if we will solve it, we get the P is equal to this much, 191.9 Newton. Now, we have calculated this. Then we can find out the maximum bending moment. Maximum bending moment for this condition would be equal to P into delta, because if we see, this is the beam and if beam buckles like this. So, the maximum bending moment is how much? This is P and this is delta. Let us say delta is y maximum. So, if we calculate at this particular point, the moment would be how much? P into delta. So, that would be 191.9 into delta. So, 191 we have calculated, that P we have calculated, delta we need to calculate. Now, direct stress, if we want to calculate, how we can calculate? It is the load divided by area. Area of the cross section of the column is given, that is 0.5 multiplied by 2. So, this area is given. So, we can divide this P by A, we can calculate the direct stress. So, that would be sigma 1 is equal to 191.9 upon 2 into 0.5 into 10 raised to the power 4, and like this we can calculate, this is the direct stress 1.919 megapascal. So, now bending stress is given by, we know sigma is equal to bending moment equation, we know m by z. So, if we see sigma 2 is equal to m by z. So, bending moment is given 191.9 into delta, 6 is given to us, and z is I by y. I we have calculated, y max would be equal to the 0.5 this. So, whatever 6 is given, sorry. So, like this we have done this, and delta की फॉर्म में जो sigma 2 की इक्वेशन है वो ये आ गई है. So, delta is how much? So, यहाँ से हम लोग delta solve कर लेंगे. So, we can calculate like this, this is 0.1381 meter. So, likewise we can calculate the maximum deflection. So, likewise in this particular lecture we have discussed two columns जो different conditions पे थे. तो ये जो crippling Euler's crippling load conditions हैं for the columns having different end conditions, now we have calculated and we can try the numericals at our home. So, thank you listeners for this lecture.